Could the Toronto Maple Leafs, in their most audacious move yet, turn a longtime tormentor into their next hero? Imagine the irony, the sheer poetic justice, of a player who once claimed to own Toronto now donning the blue and white, tasked with filling the void left by a franchise icon. The very thought sends shivers down the spine of every Leafs fan, a mix of apprehension and tantalizing possibility. Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining us for this exclusive deep dive into a trade proposal that set the hockey world abuzz. If you're ready to explore a scenario that could redefine the Toronto Maple Leafs top six, hit that like button and let us know your immediate reactions in the comments below. We're talking about a move that feels ripped from the pages of a Hollywood script, the potential acquisition of Jake DeBrusk, the Vancouver Canucks 28-goal scorer, a player whose name has long been synonymous with Maple Leafs heartbreak, now being eyed as the solution to their most pressing offensive need. The air in Toronto has been thick with anticipation, tinged with a touch of anxiety, ever since the seismic news of Mitch Marner's departure. Marner, a cornerstone of the Leafs offense for years, leaves behind a gaping chasm in the top six, a void that demands immediate and impactful attention. This isn't just about replacing points, it's about finding a player who can seamlessly integrate into a high-octane offensive system, contribute consistently, and, crucially, deliver when the stakes are highest. The search for a top-six winger has become the summer's most compelling narrative for the blue and white, a high-stakes chess match where every move is scrutinized under the unforgiving glare of the hockey spotlight. The question isn't just who will fill Marner's skates, but how the Leafs front office, under immense pressure, will pull off such a pivotal acquisition without further mortgaging their future. This is where the plot thickens, where the whispers turn into a roar, and where a truly intriguing name enters the conversation. Enter Jake DeBrusk, a name that for years has evoked a visceral reaction from the Leafs faithful. This isn't just any 28-goal scorer. This is the Leafs killer, the player who, during his tenure with the Boston Bruins, seemed to possess an uncanny knack for finding the back of the net against Toronto, especially in crucial playoff moments. Remember the infamous locker room quote, reportedly from DeBrusk himself, as recounted by Pat Maroon on Spittin' Chiclets. Jake DeBrusk, he was like, I own Toronto, a bold claim, perhaps, but one backed by a playoff resume against the Leafs that boasts 9 goals and 5 assists in just 21 games. He was a thorn in their side, a constant source of frustration, a player whose very presence on the ice seemed to elevate his game against the Maple Leafs. Now, the audacious proposal from Heavy.com suggests the Leafs could acquire DeBrusk from the Vancouver Canucks, a move that would not only bolster their offense, but also, in a twist of fate, neutralize one of their most persistent tormentors. DeBrusk, entering the second year of a 7-year, $38.5 million deal, brings a proven track record of offensive production, having recorded 28 goals and 20 assists for 48 points in 82 games last season with the Canucks. His playoff pedigree is equally impressive, with 27 goals and 20 assists for 47 points in 86 career playoff games. The irony is palpable. The man who once owned Toronto could now be tasked with saving their season. It's a narrative twist that promises both immediate impact and endless debate. But what would it take to bring this former adversary into the fold? The proposed deal is a fascinating exchange of assets, aiming to address critical needs for both sides. In return for Jake DeBrusk, the Vancouver Canucks would acquire Brandon Carlo, Nick Robertson, and a 2027 fourth-round pick. Let's break down these pieces. Brandon Carlo, a physical shutdown defenseman, is currently in the 5th year of a 6-year, $24.6 million deal. His name has surfaced in trade rumors, and for good reason. He's a top-4 defenseman, reliable presence in his own end, and precisely the kind of player a team like the Canucks, looking to solidify their blue line, would covet. The optics of trading Carlo so soon after making a bold move to acquire him at the trade deadline might raise eyebrows among the Leafs faithful. However, as NHL insider Nick Kypreos astutely points out, the Leafs currently boast 8 NHL defensemen under contract. This surplus, coupled with their pressing need for offensive firepower, makes Carlo a highly valuable trade chip. Right-shot, minute-munching defensemen will always have a market in the NHL, Kypreos wrote, emphasizing Carlo's potential to command a lot of attention and be part of a deal that adds some scoring to the forward group as they recover from the loss of Mitch Marner. It's a calculated risk, a recognition that sometimes you have to give up something valuable to get something equally essential. Then there's Nick Robertson, a player who, despite flashes of brilliance, has struggled to find consistent footing in the Leafs lineup. He signed a one-year, $1.825 million deal this offseason, but his inclusion in this proposed trade suggests the Leafs might see him as a valuable asset for a fresh start elsewhere. Robertson recorded 15 goals and 7 assists for 22 points in 69 games last season, showcasing offensive potential that could translate into a middle six role with the Canucks, a team that could offer him more consistent ice time and a clearer path to development. For Robertson, it could be the opportunity he needs to truly unleash his offensive capabilities. The addition of a 2027 fourth-round pick sweetens the pot for Vancouver, providing future draft capital in a deal that addresses their immediate defensive needs while adding a promising young forward. This isn't just a swap of players, it's a strategic realignment of assets, with each team aiming to optimize its roster for both immediate competitiveness and long-term sustainability. The strategic implications of this proposed trade for the Toronto Maple Leafs are profound. Acquiring DeBrusk isn't just about filling a statistical void. It's about adding a player with a proven track record of performing under pressure, especially in the postseason. His Leafs killer mentality, once a source of dread, could now be harnessed for good, a psychological advantage turned on its head. Imagine the roar of the Scotiabank Arena crowd as DeBrusk, in a Leafs jersey, nets a crucial goal against a rival. It's a narrative arc that could galvanize a fan base always hungry for a new hero. Furthermore, DeBrusk's contract, while substantial, is a known quantity, providing cost certainty in a salary cap world. His ability to play both wings and his physical edge would add versatility and grit to the Leafs' top six, making them harder to play against. However, the trade also carries inherent risks. Trading Brandon Carlo so soon after acquiring him could be viewed as an admission of miscalculation or at least a rapid shift in priorities. While the Leafs have defensive depth, Carlo's shutdown capabilities are elite, and losing that could impact their defensive structure. The integration of DeBrusk, a player known for his fiery personality and past rivalries, would also be a fascinating dynamic to watch. Will the Leafs killer truly embrace his new team, or will the weight of past narratives create an awkward transition? The fan base, notoriously passionate and demanding, would undoubtedly have strong opinions on acquiring a player who once openly taunted their team. Yet if DeBrusk delivers, if he becomes the consistent top six threat the Leafs desperately need, all past grievances would likely be forgotten, replaced by the fervent hope of a championship. This trade, if it materializes, is more than just a roster adjustment. It's a bold statement, a calculated gamble that could either pay immense dividends or become a cautionary tale. It's a testament to the Leafs' urgency in addressing their offensive needs and their willingness to explore unconventional solutions. So, as the NHL offseason continues its relentless churn, this proposed trade for Jake DeBrusk stands out as one of the most intriguing possibilities for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's a move that defies conventional wisdom, turns a nemesis into a potential savior, and underscores the desperate need for top six scoring in the wake of Marner's departure. The audacity of such a move, the willingness to embrace a player who once reveled in tormenting them, speaks volumes about the Leafs' determination to find a winning formula. Will the Leafs killer become the Leafs hero? Only time will tell, but the mere prospect has ignited a firestorm of debate and anticipation. What are your thoughts, Leafs Nation? Could you truly embrace Jake DeBrusk in a blue and white jersey? Do you believe this trade makes sense for both teams, or are the risks too great? Let us know your take in the comment section below. Your insights are what make this community so vibrant. And if you're as captivated by this potential blockbuster as we are, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more exclusive content and in-depth analysis. Let's keep this conversation going.